friends, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's feeling blessed. I wanted to come at you this week and just give you guys an update of what has been going on with me. I've been trying to make a video pretty much all week. I've recorded 2 different videos, both were over 20 minutes, and when it came to trying to edit them, I was watching myself and listening to what I was saying, and I just didn't like it, and I deleted it. And then I tried to do another one the next day. The same thing. As I was going through the editing process, I was watching myself, and I didn't know why I didn't like it, but it just didn't feel right. So I ended up deleting both of those videos. Last night it kind of dawned on me as I was thinking about it, and I think those videos, it was more of like a preachy type of setup, like almost portraying that I knew something that you might not know. And I think that's where I was failing, because I started this whole thing just to kind of share my journey, and for whatever reason the last video that I was trying to do I took away from sharing my journey, and I was acting like I was talking directly to somebody and trying to teach somebody something, and that's not what I'm here for. You know, I have no desire to try to teach or educate anybody. The whole purpose of this was to kind of document what I've been going through along, you know, my spiritual path. With that being said, the past 2 weeks have been interesting nonetheless. Not as impactful as I was hoping for. I don't want to use words like disappointment or nothing I believe has been bad about it, but I haven't been able to get myself in line spiritually as I was previous to all this. The meditations have been very difficult. This morning I woke up 4 o'clock in the morning, and I sat in my meditation spot and I began to try to meditate, and for an hour I could not get outside of my head. I could not quiet my mind enough to actually have a solid meditation, and that's been going on for about 2 weeks for me now. Now, last night I did have a bit of a bickering match with my wife, and I woke up with that still kind of weighing on me. It's not, well, I shouldn't say I wasn't angry. I was angry. I literally woke up angry and aggravated. And so, you know, of course, when I sat down to try to quiet my mind, I'm just rehashing a bunch of negative feelings and emotions, which I guess kind of were just manifesting themselves in my breathing patterns were all messed up. I couldn't quiet my mind. I ended up just saying screw it, and I got up after an hour. I'm like, hey, if you don't have it after an hour, there's no point in sitting there for 2 hours, you know. Yeah, and you know, I've been through this before. I told you about the first time when I first felt I had a spiritual awakening, and how that feeling lasted for about 2 weeks, and then it went away, and then I started getting angry because I couldn't get it back, and it eventually wound up to me relapsing and drinking again. And that's kind of where I'm at now. Now, I have no desire in relapsing and begin to start drinking again. That's one demon that I'm never planning on interacting with again. But I'm hitting that difficult road that I believe a lot of people go through. I've watched different YouTube videos of people kind of discussing that there is kind of a dark side to spirituality. Not dark as in demonic, but dark as in like an area where you're going to feel like you're hitting a wall, and no matter what you do, you can't get over the wall. But really, it's just kind of like time in. You just got to keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Keep practicing the meditations, the breathing techniques, and eventually you will get over that hurdle. Now, I'm at this hurdle for the second time in my life, and I've yet to get past this. So I'm very interested to see where it brings me. But right now, it's kind of just there's not a whole lot to document because I'm just not really getting anywhere. Practicing more. See, I tried changing it up too, and I don't know if this may have something to do with it, but reading Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, and I've been familiar with his work for quite a while now, and he's always preaching that he has a certain way to meditate where you're basically using the energy from your first 3 chakras, and you are forcing that energy up the spinal column with your cerebral spinal fluid and up into the brain. So you're forcing it back up, and that cerebral spinal fluid is made up of proteins and salts and water, which have a electric charge. And once that gets forced back up into your brain and interacts with your pineal gland, it's supposed to turn it on and give you some kind of profound experience. I think another problem that I have too is that I expect too much. It's kind of, when I first got into this over a year ago, I was thinking in my head that I was magically, through just a few sessions, was going to figure this out. I was going to activate my pineal gland, and I was going to walk amongst the gods, pretty much. I would be the all-knowing. Light would just pour out of my eyes and ears, and people would look at me and just know, like, wow, this is basically, Neo from the Matrix. Like, this is the one, the chosen one type of thing. And once that started to not happen, I kind of became disappointed, like, oh, maybe, there isn't some magical thing. You want so bad for there to be this big magical experience, and whether it comes or not, whether anybody actually gets there or not, I don't know. You hear a lot of interesting stories. I know Ram Dass has a bunch of stories of samadhi meditation and going up into higher realms, and one lady in particular, for one, she saw Jesus Christ. She was a Jewish woman, married to an Italian guy, and she was doing a breathing technique in her tub at nighttime, and apparently Jesus Christ himself came into the bathroom, and she was kind of like, what are you doing here? Like, I'm a Jew. Like, I don't even... Anyway, and she apparently, she would have discussions with Jethro, who is Moses's father-in-law, I think it was. But yeah, really off-the-wall bizarre stuff. And that's what I had kind of expected for myself. Now, again, I don't know if that's just storytelling at its finest or if it is legit what happens. But again, I think I'm getting too wrapped up into the woo-woo of things and not really focusing enough on doing the actual work. It's like you want immediate gratification without really doing much. But yeah, I'm interested to know what other people do when they're in this situation. So if anybody wants to reach out through a comment and just kind of maybe let me know if you've ever gone through this and how you've made it through, if you've made it through, if you're still stuck in it. I'm just curious to see if somebody kind of guide me in my journey here, because I kind of feeling like I hit the end of the road and there's no path in front of me, and not quite sure what to do. So anyway, I want to keep this video short. I think, yeah, we're coming up on 9 minutes here. So yeah, I love everybody, man. I hope you all stay healthy, stay safe, and stay blessed.